Today we're going to review how to do expanded form using fractions and decimals. So before we do an example together, let's write our place values as fractions and decimals. So my tens would be 10. My ones, 1 whole. Here's my decimal. Tenths, how do I write 1/10 as a fraction? 1/10. How do I write 1/10 as a decimal? 0 and 1/10. How do I write 100 as a fraction? 1/100. How do I write 100 as a fraction? 0 and the decimal, 0, 1. The 1 is in the hundredths place. Now, how do I write 1,000 as a fraction? 1/1000. And as a decimal, 0 and 001. The 1 is in the thousandths place. Okay, now once I understand this, expanded form will be simple. Okay, so let's do an example together. The number 4 and 726. The 4 is in my ones place. So I'm going to write it as 4 times 1 in parentheses and put my addition sign. Okay, we always start from the left, going to the right when we are doing expanded notation. My next number is a 7, and my 7 is in the tens place. So I'm going to do 7 times, if I'm writing it as fractions, it would be 7 times 1/10 because my 7 is in the tenths place value. I put my addition sign, parentheses. My next number in line is a 2. So I'm going to put my 2 down times what place value is my 2 in? The hundredths place value. So I write 1/100. Close my parentheses. And my last digit is a 6. So I'm going to add in parentheses 6 times what place value is my 6 in? The thousandths place value. So I'm going to write it as a fraction, 1/1000. And this is how we write the number 4 and 726 thousandths in expanded notation. 4 times 1 plus 7 times 1/10 plus 2 times 1/100 plus 6 times 1/100. Now, if I were going to write the same number as a decimal using decimals, I would start with my first number 4 times 1 because the 4 is in the ones place. That stays the same. Now my 7, which is after my decimal, I'm going to write it as 7 times, here's my decimal, 0 and 1/10 times 0 and 1/10 plus, okay, 2 is my next number, 2 times, the 2 is in what place value? The hundredths. So I will write it as a decimal, 0 and 100ths plus, my last number is a 6 times, and it is in what place value? The thousandths place value. So I write it as 0 and 001 1,000. Oops, I'm sorry, you can't see that. There we go. Okay, let's do another example. What if I have a 0 in my number? So I'm going to erase this. Okay, and let's do the number 2 and 62 thousandths. 2 and 62 thousandths. Notice I have a 0 that's in between, in the middle of my number. So again, we start with the left going to the right. The 2 is in the what place value? The ones place value. So I do 2 times 1 plus, okay, now my next number is a 0. We know that 0 times anything is always 0. So we can ignore and go to the next number, which is 6. So in parentheses, I am going to put 6 times what place value is the 6th in? The hundreds place value. So if I'm writing this number as I'm using fractions, I'm going to put 1 over 100 because it's in the hundreds place value. Plus, my next number is a 2 times, okay, my 2 is in the thousandths place value, so writing it as a fraction is 1 over 1,000. 2 times 1 over 1,000 gets you 2 in the thousandths place value. Now let's write the same number in expanded form using decimals. So my 2, again, is in the ones place value, so 2 times 1 stays the same. Plus 0 times anything is always 0, so we'll move to the next number. 6 times, it's in the hundredths place value, and rewrite that as 0 and 01. 100ths plus the 2 times is in the thousandths place value, so I write it as 0.001.